Silence is a symbol of inner strength and self-control because it reflects mastery over one's impulses, emotions, and ego. In a world where immediacy dominates human behavior, the ability to remain silent when provoked is not a sign of weakness, but a profound demonstration of psychological resilience. It is easy to speak. It is effortless to react. Words often escape before thoughts are fully formed. However, silence requires deliberation. It demands that a person pause, evaluate, and govern their response instead of surrendering to instinct. Inner strength is not measured by volume or dominance. It is measured by composure. When criticism strikes, when insults attempt to penetrate dignity, or when misunderstanding clouds judgment, the instinctive reaction is to defend oneself instantly. Yet the individual who possesses self-control understands that not every challenge deserves a response. Silence becomes a shield that protects mental clarity. It prevents emotions from dictating behavior. It transforms reaction into reflection. Self-control is the discipline of choosing restraint over impulse. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions can surge with remarkable intensity. Anger rises like fire. Excitement bursts forth uncontrollably. Fear pushes us toward hasty explanations. In such moments, silence acts as a stabilizing force. It provides space for emotion to settle before action is taken. This pause is not passive. It is intentional. It is a conscious decision to ensure that words, when finally spoken, are measured rather than reckless. Silence also reflects confidence. Those who constantly seek to prove themselves often feel compelled to speak at every opportunity. They interrupt, they argue, they over-explain. Their words attempt to secure validation. In contrast, a self-assured individual understands that their worth does not depend on constant verbal assertion. They are comfortable allowing others to speak. They do not feel threatened by opposing opinions. Their silence communicates security in their identity. It demonstrates that they do not need to dominate conversations to affirm their value. Moreover, silence cultivates authority. Leaders who practice deliberate silence often command deeper respect than those who speak incessantly. When a leader listens attentively without interruption, they convey seriousness and presence. Their silence invites others to share openly. It signals that every voice matters. In moments of tension, a calm and silent demeanor stabilizes the environment. People mirror the composure they observe. Thus, silence becomes a subtle yet powerful influence over collective emotion. There is also strength in withholding unnecessary explanations. Not every misunderstanding requires immediate clarification. Not every accusation demands defense. Sometimes, silence allows truth to reveal itself over time. When a person refrains from reacting impulsively, they prevent situations from escalating. They avoid adding fuel to conflicts driven by pride. Silence demonstrates trust in one's integrity. It reflects the belief that character speaks louder than argument. Self-control through silence is particularly evident during confrontation. When confronted with hostility, the natural impulse is retaliation. Harsh words tempt the tongue. Yet responding in anger often leads to regret. Silence interrupts this destructive cycle. It denies negativity the satisfaction of reaction. It preserves dignity. The silent individual refuses to allow external provocation to dictate internal peace. This is not submission. It is mastery. Silence also strengthens emotional intelligence. By choosing not to speak immediately, a person gains time to observe tone, body language, and underlying intention. They recognize whether words are driven by frustration, insecurity, or misunderstanding. This awareness shapes wiser responses. Instead of escalating tension, they can respond with clarity and calmness. Silence, therefore, enhances perception. It sharpens judgment. Furthermore, silence builds patience. In conversations, many people listen only to reply rather than to understand. Their minds prepare counter-arguments while others are still speaking. However, a silent listener absorbs fully. They respect the rhythm of dialogue. They wait. This waiting is not emptiness. It is active engagement. Patience nurtured by silence fosters stronger relationships because people feel genuinely heard. In moments of personal struggle, silence also becomes a form of inner dialogue. It allows individuals to confront their own thoughts without distraction. Instead of immediately broadcasting every emotion, they process it privately. This introspection prevents unnecessary conflict and strengthens emotional maturity. By learning to sit with discomfort silently, a person develops resilience. They realize that not every feeling requires public expression. Silence is equally powerful in success. When achievements occur, restraint prevents arrogance. It encourages humility. Rather than boasting, the self-controlled individual allows actions to speak. Their quiet confidence becomes more admirable than loud celebration. People respect consistency and stability more than dramatic display. Additionally, silence guards against the consequences of careless speech. Words, once released, cannot be retrieved. They may damage trust, injure relationships, or distort reputations. Silence provides a safeguard. It filters thoughts before they transform into irreversible statements. Through this filter, individuals maintain integrity and avoid regret. In environments filled with competition, silence also conveys strategic intelligence. Observing more than speaking allows a person to gather insight. They understand dynamics before positioning themselves. This measured approach prevents missteps. It reflects careful thinking rather than impulsive action. Silence strengthens character because it aligns speech with intention. When someone speaks less, their words carry weight. They are not diluted by excess. Each statement becomes deliberate and meaningful. This economy of expression reveals discipline. It shows that the individual values substance over noise. The capacity to remain silent when emotions surge, when ego is challenged, or when pride is tempted is a testament to inner command. It proves that a person governs themselves rather than being governed by circumstances. In silence, there is awareness. In awareness, there is choice. And in choice, there is strength. Silence prevents unnecessary conflict and emotional escalation because it interrupts the instinctive cycle of reaction that often fuels disputes. Human conflict rarely begins with grand offenses. It frequently starts with small misunderstandings, impulsive remarks, or emotionally charged responses. A single careless sentence can transform a minor disagreement into a prolonged confrontation. Silence, when practiced deliberately, acts as a barrier against this escalation. It introduces space where there would otherwise be friction. When emotions intensify, clarity diminishes. Anger narrows perception. Frustration distorts interpretation. In heated moments, individuals often hear what they expect rather than what is actually said. Immediate verbal retaliation amplifies this distortion. Each response becomes sharper, louder, and more defensive. Silence disrupts this progression. It denies the emotional momentum that conflict relies upon. By choosing not to respond instantly, a person slows the rhythm of hostility and allows emotions to settle. Many conflicts persist not because of the severity of the issue, but because of wounded pride. When individuals feel attacked, they instinctively defend their dignity. Words become weapons of protection. However, defensive speech often provokes further attack, creating a cycle of accusation and counter-accusation. Silence, in such situations, signals composure rather than submission. It communicates that one's sense of self is not so fragile that it requires immediate defense. This calm presence can soften the aggression of others, as hostility often seeks reaction to sustain itself. Silence also minimizes misinterpretation. During tense exchanges, rapid speech leaves little room for thoughtful articulation. People interrupt, overlap, and react before fully understanding each other. By remaining silent and allowing the other person to speak completely, clarity increases. Listening without interruption reduces assumptions. It demonstrates respect, even in disagreement. Respect reduces defensiveness, and reduced defensiveness lowers the intensity of conflict. Emotional escalation thrives on impulsivity. Social interactions, especially in stressful environments, can trigger strong feelings. A harsh tone from a colleague, criticism from a superior, or disagreement from a friend may ignite immediate irritation. Responding at that instant often magnifies the situation. Silence offers a moment of recalibration. It allows the mind to distinguish between temporary emotion and rational thought. In that pause, anger can dissipate before it transforms into harmful language. In personal relationships, silence can prevent lasting damage. Loved ones often know each other's vulnerabilities. In moments of frustration, there is a temptation to speak words designed to hurt. These words may provide temporary relief for anger, but can leave enduring scars. Silence acts as a protective boundary. It restrains the urge to weaponize intimacy. By withholding reactive speech, relationships are shielded from wounds that apologies cannot easily repair. Silence also shifts power dynamics in confrontation. When one party expects resistance or retaliation and instead encounters calm quietness, the energy of the conflict changes. Aggression often depends on opposition. Without it, intensity loses direction. Silence removes the adversarial rhythm. It forces a pause in the exchange. In that pause, the aggressor may become aware of their own tone or reconsider their approach. Furthermore, silence encourages accountability. In arguments, individuals frequently focus on proving themselves right rather than understanding the situation. Quick rebuttals are crafted to win rather than resolve. Silence disrupts this competitive mindset. By listening without immediate contradiction, a person may discover elements of truth within criticism. This reflection fosters growth instead of defensiveness. It transforms conflict into an opportunity for insight rather than escalation. In professional environments, emotional restraint through silence prevents reputational harm. Workplace disagreements can influence careers and collaborations. An impulsive outburst may damage credibility and trust. Silence preserves professionalism. It allows individuals to respond strategically rather than emotionally. By choosing to remain quiet during provocation, one demonstrates maturity and reliability, qualities that stabilize teams and organizations. Digital communication further illustrates how silence prevents escalation. Online exchanges lack tone and facial expression, making misinterpretation common. Quick responses typed in frustration can spread rapidly and permanently. Silence, in this context, means refraining from immediate reply. Waiting before responding to provocative messages prevents misunderstandings from spiraling. It allows for composed, thoughtful communication instead of reactive confrontation. Silence also de-escalates internal conflict. When faced with criticism or disagreement, individuals may experience internal turmoil. Thoughts race with imagined rebuttals. Silence encourages inward processing instead of outward explosion. By pausing, a person can evaluate whether the disagreement truly warrants confrontation. Often, issues that seem urgent in the moment lose significance after reflection. Silence filters trivial matters from meaningful concerns. Moreover, silence fosters empathy. Listening attentively without interruption communicates willingness to understand. When people feel heard, they are less inclined to escalate disputes. The simple act of allowing someone to express frustration without challenge can diffuse tension. Silence creates a safe space for emotions to be released without resistance. Once emotions are expressed, they often diminish naturally. Restraint through silence also demonstrates emotional intelligence. It shows awareness of how words influence atmosphere. A person who understands the contagious nature of emotion recognizes that responding with agitation amplifies negativity. Silence absorbs intensity rather than reflecting it. This containment protects collective harmony. In family settings, silence can prevent generational misunderstandings. Differences in perspective, values, or expectations may lead to heated exchanges. Immediate rebuttal often entrenches positions. Silence, however, allows time to consider the other viewpoint. It encourages thoughtful dialogue later when emotions are balanced. Silence does not imply avoidance of important issues. Rather, it ensures that discussions occur with composure rather than volatility. It separates emotion from expression. By doing so, it prevents small sparks from becoming destructive fires. The absence of immediate reaction reduces the likelihood of regretful statements and preserves relationships from unnecessary strain. Through deliberate quietness, individuals protect themselves and others from the consequences of emotional overflow. They create space for clarity, reduce defensiveness, and interrupt cycles of hostility. In this restraint lies a powerful mechanism for maintaining peace amidst provocation. Silence allows deeper thinking and wiser decisions because it creates the mental space necessary for clarity, analysis, and discernment. In a world that rewards speed and immediate reaction, thoughtful deliberation has become rare. Decisions are often made under pressure, guided by emotion rather than understanding. Silence interrupts this urgency. It slows the mind, allowing it to move beyond surface impressions into careful evaluation. The human mind is constantly stimulated by noise conversations, notifications, opinions, expectations. This constant input fragments attention. When the mind is overwhelmed, thinking becomes shallow. Silence restores concentration. It filters distractions and permits sustained focus. In that stillness, thoughts can unfold fully rather than being cut short by interruption. Deep thinking requires time. Complex situations cannot be understood instantly. They contain layers: context, motive, consequence, long-term impact. Silence provides the opportunity to examine each layer carefully. Without speaking immediately, a person can analyze not only what is being said, but also what is implied. They can consider alternative interpretations and anticipate possible outcomes. Wiser decisions emerge from reflection rather than impulse. When faced with choices, especially those involving risk or responsibility, immediate answers often overlook important details. Silence encourages questioning. What are the potential consequences? Who will be affected? Is this decision aligned with values and long-term goals? By pausing before speaking or acting, individuals allow these questions to surface. Silence also strengthens critical thinking. During discussions, many people focus on preparing the response instead of processing information thoroughly. This habit limits comprehension. By remaining silent and fully attentive, one absorbs nuances that might otherwise be missed. Tone, hesitation, emphasis, and context all provide valuable insight. Careful listening deepens understanding, and understanding improves judgment. In leadership, silence is often a sign of strategic intelligence. Leaders who rush to speak may appear decisive, but hasty decisions can undermine credibility. Those who take time to reflect demonstrate prudence. Their silence signals that they are weighing information carefully. When they finally speak, their Words carry greater authority because they are rooted in consideration rather than reaction. Silence also reduces cognitive bias. Immediate responses are frequently shaped by personal assumptions, past experiences, or emotional reactions. These biases can distort evaluation. By pausing, individuals create distance from their initial impressions. This distance allows for more objective analysis. They can examine evidence rather than relying solely on instinct. Creative problem-solving thrives in silence. Innovation requires space for ideas to develop. Constant conversation can interrupt creative flow. In quiet reflection, connections form naturally. Patterns become visible. Solutions emerge that might not surface in rapid dialogue. Silence enables the mind to wander productively, exploring possibilities without constraint. Emotional balance is another benefit of silence in decision-making. Strong emotions, excitement, fear, anger can cloud judgment. Silence allows these emotions to settle before conclusions are drawn. Decisions made in heightened emotional states are often regretted later. By waiting until the mind regains equilibrium, individuals ensure that their choices are guided by reason rather than temporary feeling. Silence also promotes self-awareness. When external voices quiet down, internal thoughts become clearer. Individuals can examine their motivations honestly. Are they choosing out of pride, insecurity, pressure, or genuine conviction? This introspection refines judgment. Decisions grounded in self-awareness tend to be more consistent and authentic. In academic and professional settings, silence enhances learning. Students who listen attentively grasp concepts more thoroughly than those who focus solely on participation. Professionals who observe before speaking understand organizational dynamics more accurately. This deeper comprehension supports more informed choices. Silence fosters patience, and patience improves accuracy. Quick answers may satisfy the desire for resolution, but often overlook complexity. Patience allows information to accumulate. With more data comes greater insight. Decisions formed after comprehensive evaluation are less likely to require correction. Furthermore, silence strengthens ethical reasoning. Moral dilemmas often involve competing values. Immediate reactions may favor convenience or popularity. In silence, individuals can reflect on principles and long-term integrity. They can measure actions against their conscience rather than external pressure. This reflection cultivates wisdom. Silence also enhances communication quality. When individuals speak less frequently but more thoughtfully, their contributions are substantial. Their words are deliberate rather than impulsive. This deliberation reduces misunderstandings and increases credibility. Others recognize that when such individuals speak, it is because they have something meaningful to offer. In negotiations, silence can be particularly powerful. Remaining quiet after presenting a proposal invites the other party to reflect and respond thoughtfully. It prevents over-explanation, which can weaken position. Silence signals confidence and patience, encouraging balanced dialogue rather than hurried agreement. Personal growth is nurtured through reflective silence. Life presents numerous crossroads: career, choices, relationships, responsibilities. In the absence of quiet contemplation, individuals may follow trends or expectations instead of authentic direction. Silence creates room for evaluating aspirations honestly. It clarifies priorities and distinguishes genuine desire from external influence. The practice of silent reflection trains the mind to be disciplined. It teaches restraint, focus, and attentiveness. Over time, this discipline enhances intellectual depth. Thoughts become more organized. Arguments become more coherent. Decisions become more deliberate. Silence does not eliminate communication. It refines it. By limiting unnecessary speech, individuals preserve mental energy for meaningful dialogue. Their thinking becomes intentional rather than scattered. Their decisions reflect consideration rather than haste. Through stillness, the mind gains access to insight that noise conceals. By resisting the pressure to answer immediately, individuals cultivate understanding that is comprehensive rather than superficial. In this quiet deliberation, clarity strengthens, perspective broadens, and judgment matures. Silence expresses empathy more powerfully than words because genuine understanding often transcends verbal explanation. In moments of vulnerability, people rarely seek elaborate advice or eloquent speeches. They seek presence. They seek assurance that their emotions are seen, acknowledged, and respected. Silence, when offered with attentiveness, communicates that presence more sincerely than rehearsed consolation. Empathy begins with listening. True listening is not merely waiting for a turn to speak. It is absorbing another person's experience without interruption or judgment. Silence creates the conditions for such listening. When someone shares pain, confusion, or fear, interrupting them with immediate solutions may unintentionally minimize their feelings. Remaining silent allows their story to unfold completely. It signals patience. It conveys that their emotions deserve space. Words, though meaningful, can sometimes become barriers. In an attempt to comfort, people often rely on cliches or comparisons. Phrases intended to soothe may sound dismissive. Silence avoids this risk. A quiet, attentive presence does not impose interpretation. It allows the person speaking to define their own experience. This respect strengthens trust. In grief, silence carries profound significance. Loss cannot be repaired by explanation. No carefully constructed sentence can eliminate sorrow. Attempting to rationalize pain may even deepen isolation. Sitting quietly beside someone who mourns communicates solidarity. It says, without articulation, that they do not face their suffering alone. This shared stillness acknowledges the magnitude of their emotion without attempting to reduce it. Silence also communicates humility. When someone confides in another, they are offering vulnerability. Responding immediately with advice can unintentionally shift focus away from their feelings. Silence reflects restraint. It demonstrates that one does not presume to fully understand another's experience. Instead, one listens, observes, and absorbs. This humility strengthens emotional connection. Empathy requires emotional attunement. By remaining silent, a person becomes more attentive to subtle cues: tone, pacing, facial expression, body language. These signals reveal feelings that words may conceal. Silence sharpens perception. It allows the listener to sense hesitation, uncertainty, or suppressed emotion. This awareness fosters deeper understanding. Silence also provides emotional safety. When individuals share sensitive experiences, they may fear judgment or dismissal. An immediate response can heighten that fear. Silence, paired with attentive presence, reassures them that their words are being received without criticism. This sense of safety encourages honesty and openness. Furthermore, silence respects emotional timing. Not every feeling requires immediate analysis. Sometimes individuals simply need to express themselves without interruption. By resisting the venir du run urge to fill every pause, the listener allows reflection to occur naturally. The speaker may discover clarity through their own words. Silence thus becomes a supportive framework rather than an absence. Empathy expressed through silence also prevents comparison. It is common to respond to someone's struggle by referencing similar personal experiences. While this may be intended to show understanding, it can shift attention away from the person currently sharing. Silence keeps the focus where it belongs. It centers the speaker's emotions rather than redirecting the narrative. In moments of intense emotion, language may fail entirely. Tears, silence, or trembling often convey more than sentences. Responding with matching quietness honors that depth. It aligns emotional tone without overwhelming it. This alignment fosters connection beyond verbal exchange. Silence can also communicate respect during disagreement. When someone expresses frustration or anger, immediate rebuttal can escalate tension. By listening silently, one acknowledges the validity of their feelings, even if perspectives differ. This acknowledgement reduces defensiveness and opens the possibility for constructive dialogue later. Parents, mentors, and leaders demonstrate empathy through attentive silence. When guiding others, there is a temptation to provide constant instruction. However, allowing individuals to articulate their own thoughts without interruption strengthens confidence. Silence affirms that their voice matters. It encourages independent reflection while offering quiet support. In friendships, silence builds intimacy. Shared quiet moments create comfort that does not depend on constant conversation. The ability to sit together without pressure to speak reflects mutual understanding. It signifies trust that connection does not require continuous words. Silence also reveals emotional discipline. Offering empathy through quiet presence requires patience. It requires resisting the impulse to control the conversation or to resolve discomfort quickly. This restraint demonstrates genuine care rather than self-serving reassurance. In professional environments, empathetic silence strengthens collaboration. When colleagues share concerns or challenges, attentive listening fosters mutual respect. Immediate solutions may overlook complexities. Silence invites thorough expression. It communicates that perspectives are valued. Moreover, silence encourages deeper reflection within the speaker. When uninterrupted, individuals often explore their feelings more fully. They may arrive at insights independently. This self-discovery is empowering. The listener's silence supports this process without overshadowing it. Empathy is not measured by the quantity of words spoken, but by the quality of attention offered. Silence amplifies attention. It removes distraction. It prioritizes presence over performance. In emotionally charged moments, silence often speaks in ways language cannot. It conveys compassion without intrusion, understanding without assumption, and solidarity without spectacle. Through attentive quietness, individuals communicate care that is steady, respectful, and sincere. Silence reflects confidence that does not seek validation because it demonstrates security rooted within rather than approval sought from others. In a world driven by visibility, recognition, and constant expression, many individuals feel compelled to assert themselves repeatedly. They speak to be noticed. They argue to be acknowledged. They explain excessively to ensure they are understood. Yet true confidence does not depend on constant verbal reinforcement. It rests quietly, assured of its own worth. A person who is genuinely confident does not feel threatened by opposing opinions. When challenged, they do not rush to defend every detail of their perspective. Their silence in such moments is not uncertainty. It is composure. They understand that disagreement does not diminish their value. That disagreement does not diminish their value. By choosing not to react impulsively, they demonstrate trust in their own judgment. They do not perceive every contradiction as an attack that must be countered immediately. Silence also reveals independence from external applause. Many people speak frequently because they seek affirmation. Compliments, agreement, and attention can become subtle forms of validation that sustain self-esteem. However, reliance on validation creates fragility. If approval disappears, confidence falters. The individual who embraces silence shows that their self-worth does not fluctuate with audience response. They are comfortable, even when unnoticed. In conversations, confident silence manifests as attentive listening rather than competitive speaking. Instead of striving to dominate dialogue, the secure individual contributes when necessary and refrains when contribution would add little value. Their restraint conveys assurance. They do not measure their importance by how much they speak. They understand that substance outweighs quantity. Silence also communicates maturity in success. When achievements occur, there is often a temptation to broadcast accomplishments widely. Recognition can feel rewarding, and sharing milestones is natural. Yet the confident person does not exaggerate or boast. They allow their work to speak for itself. Their satisfaction arises from the achievement itself, not from external praise. This quiet pride reflects internal stability. During criticism, silence becomes even more powerful. Those who lack confidence often respond defensively, seeking to justify or protect their image. They may over-explain or argue to restore approval. In contrast, a confident individual evaluates criticism calmly. They listen without immediate rebuttal. If the critique is valid, they accept it without shame. If it is unfounded, they do not feel compelled to engage unnecessarily. Their silence indicates that their identity is not easily shaken. Silence can also project authority. Leaders who speak sparingly often command greater respect than those who fill every pause. When they choose to speak, their words carry weight because they are not diluted by excess. Their silence creates anticipation and signals deliberation. This measured communication reflects certainty rather than insecurity. Confidence without validation also appears in social settings. Some individuals feel pressure to contribute constantly to avoid being perceived as irrelevant. They may speak simply to maintain visibility. The self-assured person, however, is comfortable with pauses. They do not interpret silence as social failure. They understand that presence does not require constant noise. Furthermore, silence protects authenticity. When people chase validation, they may adjust opinions to align with popular sentiment. They may speak in ways designed to attract approval rather than express genuine thought. The confident individual resists this tendency. Their silence allows them to observe group dynamics without being swept into conformity. When they finally express themselves, it is from conviction rather than pressure. In professional environments, confidence expressed through silence fosters credibility. Instead of overpromising or exaggerating competence, the secure individual speaks with precision. They avoid unnecessary claims. This restraint builds trust. Colleagues and clients recognize reliability in measured speech. Silence also strengthens resilience. When faced with gossip, misunderstanding, or unfair judgment, the urge to defend oneself publicly can be strong. Yet constant defense may perpetuate negativity. The confident person trusts that consistent character will outweigh temporary misperception. Their silence communicates faith in their integrity. They do not allow rumors to dictate their emotional state. In relationships, silence rooted in confidence prevents unnecessary conflict. Insecure individuals may interpret neutral actions as rejection and respond defensively. They may demand reassurance repeatedly. Confidence reduces this need. The secure person does not seek constant confirmation of affection or approval. They trust the stability of the relationship. Their silence reflects comfort rather than doubt. Moreover, silence cultivates self-awareness. When individuals refrain from constant expression, they gain space to evaluate their own thoughts privately. They do not rush to share every idea or emotion for immediate feedback. This internal processing strengthens independent thinking. Confidence grows from self-understanding rather than external commentary. Silence also discourages comparison. In competitive environments, people often highlight achievements to measure themselves against others. The confident individual does not participate. in constant comparison. They focus on personal growth rather than public ranking. Their silence reflects contentment with their own path. The ability to remain silent when others seek reaction is especially revealing. Provocation often aims to elicit response. When someone refuses to engage in unnecessary dispute, it signals strength. They do not require the last word to feel victorious. They recognize that dignity sometimes lies in restraint. Confidence without validation also manifests in decision-making. Individuals who depend heavily on approval may hesitate to act without consensus. They fear criticism or rejection. The self-assured person considers advice thoughtfully, but ultimately trusts their own reasoning. Their silence during deliberation reflects confidence in their judgment. Even in moments of uncertainty, silence can express strength. Admitting, "I need time to think," rather than offering an immediate answer demonstrates honesty. It shows that one values accuracy over appearance. This transparency builds respect. Silence, therefore, becomes more than absence of speech. It becomes evidence of inner equilibrium. It reveals that identity is not constructed from applause, but from conviction. It demonstrates that worth does not fluctuate with opinion. It reflects a calm assurance that does not demand attention. In a society that equates loudness with influence and visibility with value, choosing silence can be a radical act of confidence. It communicates stability, independence, and composure. It shows that true strength does not clamor for recognition. It simply exists, grounded and unwavering. When silence arises from self-assurance rather than fear, it transforms into a quiet declaration of strength. It tells the world that approval is appreciated, but not required. It affirms that identity is secure without constant affirmation. And in that quiet certainty lies a confidence far more powerful than any spoken claim.